I want to
Okay.
explain kind of like the title of this video. It's live, so people are seeing us, right? I want to kind of
Oh,
explain the
cool.
title of
Great.
this video,
Hi, guys.
who Jordan is, how we came up with this. I know it could be like clickbait, right? It's like $1.2 million strategy, blah, blah, blah. Now,
Of
I've
course,
been
it's
selling on
clickbait.
Amazon. It's straight clickbait, but there's a lot of truth to it. So you guys
Oh,
can
I
kind of
have a lot to
understand.
say about it too.
Yeah. So I've sold on Amazon for a long time. The most I've sold in 1 month is about $500,000 from one account. And that was without OA Genius, and that's a whole other story, right? Like that was scary. Right. So we can mute it now. What's up, Evie? And I was asking Jordan in one of the videos we did in the past, what is the most he thinks someone using his software sold? And he mentioned about 1.2 million a month. So first, Jordan could like introduce himself. Some of you guys may not know who he is. And then we'll go into this whole 1.2 million and just talk in general about strategies with selling on Amazon and so on. But anyway, Jordan, sorry. Go ahead. Who are you for the
Yeah,
people who've never seen you
yeah,
before?
for sure. Hey guys, Jordan. I'm Jordan. I'm the CEO and founder of OA Genius. We provide software and tools for primarily for online and retail arbitrage dropshippers and sellers on Amazon. Primarily sourcing from some of the big box retailers, Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, Home Depot, Zoro, etc. I'm super excited to be on the channel. I'm super excited to talk about this topic specifically because I have a lot to say with regards to margins and credit and all the rest of that stuff. Specifically as it pertains to like selling high volumes.
Right.
And then I think like towards the end of this, we also wanted to do like a AMA, ask me anything about online arb dropshipping. Between myself and Mark, I think we have like a bit of knowledge here to share.
Right.
So anybody who has any questions, just getting started or advanced, just drop them in the chat, and we'll get them answered for you.
Okay, so Jordan, before we get into like the whole strategy, what brought you to making OA Genius? Did you dropship on Amazon before? What is some of your like history of that, and then why OA Genius, and what problems does that software fix?
Yeah, sure. So I've actually been in the e-commerce space for about 10 years now. I've worked with a bunch of the other softwares in the space, and primarily used to work for Inform.co. AppEagle, formerly AppEagle, is known as the repricer that a bunch of you guys are using or have used in the past. So I know a lot about e-commerce and a lot about the space. I used to dropship pretty high volume, not quite as high as some of the sellers that I'm seeing right now. The reason why I built OA Genius was for myself initially, and then we decided to go live with it to the public for the benefit of all the sellers. And the primary reason why I built it was because some of all the other solutions in the market weren't satisfying the organizational practices that we wanted to instill in our team, the need for monitoring the products as quickly and as accurately as we do. And a bunch of the other automation stuff that we do to take away work from the teams that are managing these stores. So that's a bit of the background as to how OA Genius came to life, and what I've sort of been working on for the past like 10 years. So
is that long? So you've been in this space for 10 years?
Yeah, between like e-commerce, repricing, and online arbitrage, I think we have like about 10 years of experience.
Okay. And how much if you had, I know you haven't been like formally dropshipping on your own account for a while, but how much did you think you've gotten to, and what you think has changed between then and now? Because over time, if you're in this space, you
Yeah.
see like how competitive it is, what you can do, and then you as a software owner could see what other people are doing on a kind of higher view, right? So like,
Yeah, so a lot's changed. A lot's changed. Like we used to be like primarily. We used to be heavily focused on like cash back opportunities and like back end profits and stuff like that. And while some of that still exists, it's sort of been offset, specifically with regards to certain retailers. Um, there's a lot more people in the space now, for sure. So you need to kind of like arm yourself with the best tools to compete, I think.
yeah.
And just like a lot more automation, than I initially had for my own stores. Obviously, when I was running it with spreadsheets and stuff like that, like we've come a long way from there.
And I think as someone who makes software, so I used to have DHini for eBay, right? And because like I used to run my stores without software, I feel like I value the fact that there is software more than someone who like just gets software immediately and just like, okay, I'll give you one example that kind of like is a huge pet peeve of mine, right? So I do videos, I do the videos, sell this now with OA Genius on YouTube. And some people are like, but the matches aren't perfect. So, which is true, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I'm like, do you know how, I'm not going to curse because I don't get monetized on YouTube, but do you know how long it would take to actually do this without software?
Yeah, of course.
It's impossible. Like it's. But anyway, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, so it makes it a whole lot harder. It takes a whole lot longer. The matches are like a large percentage, while the misses are a small percentage.
Right.
But then just like the sheer time savings of either yourself, if you're still doing this sourcing yourself, or at least the savings of your virtual assistant's time are humongous, right? And so like the amount of data that we're able to crunch in like a short period of time is pretty good relative to like, I guess, the amount that we're charging and the amount of mismatches that we're doing.
Right.
So that's where we try to be. I mean, we can't be 100% accurate with the product sourcing, but we try to get as close as possible on that front.
Mm.
I guess with regards to so like there weren't really tools for that. Also, when I was doing it, I think like the wealth of knowledge that gets shared in these Facebook groups, my own, yours, the OA Genius page, a bunch of the other dropshipping, groups is tremendous. Never had access to any of that. Sort of had to learn it on my own. From some of the other pioneers that were in the space, whoever was willing to talk to me. So those are the main differentials. I mean, I think in general, like it's gotten more competitive, but I think it's a lot easier now than it used to be. And of course, like as we continue on in the years and stuff like that, e-commerce as a sector, as compared to like straight retail selling and buying patterns are increasing, right? So like e-commerce is just taking up a bigger chunk of the entire retail pie, and so just inevitably, doesn't matter how many sellers are introduced, like there's just more buyers in the market, so that doesn't hurt.
Right. So you brought up something that I want to kind of like highlight on for the guys watching this. We live, like right now, dropshipping on Amazon, entrepreneurship mightn't be an option for some people because some people may not have a job, right? And some of you guys watching this, I watch your comments, I interact with a lot of you guys in the Facebook group, would be like, is it saturated or it's more saturated than before and things are harder? But there's one thing that you said, Jordan, that a lot of people, unless you're old enough and experienced enough to know the value of it, would underestimate, right? if you've been doing this 5 years ago or 4 years ago, even 3 years ago, right? There was much less training. There was much less options to get even a head start or direction on what to go. There were much less groups. Like the value of people saying, hey, we made this mistake, or I sold this, or like this item is canceled, or I'm only making 11% margins. How, like, those little, you're getting more data, a lot more data now. You get in software that has a specific amount of suppliers, so you know, let me start there. That's kind of like a head start on where to start. Before you had all these like influencers and courses and software, it was, you're out in the wild. You're just there, you see the traffic, and you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I get something in front of these other people to get them to buy it? And, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think you guys who are now getting into e-commerce, although the year that we live in, the time that we live in may seem more challenging, take advantage and accept and kind of like try to understand the head start that a lot of you guys have, because you have a lot of training, a lot of groups, a lot of software, and you have you start with a little more direction, right? Like pure entrepreneurs can kind of just like see an opportunity and go get it and like they'll figure it out. But because there's a lot of influencers teaching and a lot of people giving software, you have people that, in my opinion, are not necessarily entrepreneurs, that expect direction at every turn. And that's not where you're going to find success in dropshipping if you need 100% direction, but also know that right now you're starting way ahead of the people that started 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, you're 100% on point. The thing is that like I think these people are getting supported, even like the true newbies. Like right. I know that for sure in our groups, like you can ask a question, doesn't matter how silly it sort of is. Some people might make like a quick joke, but then like I think you might be getting an answer from somebody who's doing like 300-400 grand a month or more. Right. You know, just like readily available and willing to just like answer that question for you. And like, I know, I mean, obviously I know from the back end who these people are, but they're just like so involved in the conversation, so willing to help. It's just like, it's crazy to me. Like, I don't even like, it's so nice for me to see. And it's just unique. And I think, you know, if you are thinking about taking the plunge and jumping in, then you should definitely leverage all of that. But even so, like, even if you're a self-starter and an entrepreneur yourself and all the rest, like there are there are intricacies along the way. Once you get more in depth and, you know, further down the line and things with IP and copyright and all the rest. And still, you know, you could turn to the groups, you could turn to the forums. There's so much information around. It's just like, you know, it's easy to get access to these types of people who have dealt with it before, who have seen successes and things that they've tried, who have had to try to do their trial and error on their own. But, you know, you get the benefit of not having to do the trial and error part and just like using their findings straight away.
Right. So a couple of things, guys. There are 31 people watching it live and we only have 14 likes. Smash the like button. Also, in the description of this video, there's a link to like OA Genius free trial. Check it out. If you haven't seen the videos that I've been doing almost every day, showing you guys how to find items to sell, that's the software I'm using. And one other thing, guys, share this video on, if you want to win 2 months of OA Genius, share this video on one of your social media platforms, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, because now you can share on YouTube, or Twitter. Share the link so other people can be introduced to this video, and take a screenshot of the link and send it to my email. I've done that before for Entrepreneur Zone. So I asked Jordan if we could give away 2 months of OA Genius on the channel when we do the lives, and he agreed. So if you guys could share the video, take a screenshot and send it to that email I put in the chat, I'll really appreciate it. But go ahead.
I'll give away a sweatshirt as well. If an OAG sweatshirt. If
sweet.
For the same deal. So whoever the winner is, will get one of these also.
All right, perfect. Thanks a lot, dude. I actually appreciate that. So let's talk a bit about volume. How long it takes to sell? How long you think the typical person should take to start selling? Let's say $10,000 a month. And as you saw someone selling 1.2 million a month, let's kind of lead to that and talk about what it will kind of take, what type of margins you're talking about, what type of cash flow funding. Like, there's a lot involved in selling that amount. And I think that like the whole clickbait thing, 1.2 million is cool. But I think if we go into what it actually takes, people could actually learn from the clickbait, right? From the fact that there is someone selling $1 million a month, but it takes certain things to be in place for that to happen.
Yeah. So getting to $1 million a month is not a small feat. It's a long-term sort of project. You can get there. You can get there like pretty quickly if you wanted to, but there's some hurdles to do there as well.
Yeah.
So you probably don't want to move that quickly in that direction.
Okay, but first of all, no, but before we go
that
there,
seller's been selling for a while. Let's just put it this way.
You said one thing. You said if you wanted to get there, you could get there relatively quickly. What is relatively in a year, in 5 years, and what do you think is if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
I don't think,
and I'll explain why I don't think people should want to. But that's this is their own prerogative, and this is certain people's business model. We'll just talk and dissect the whole thing.
Right.
How quickly can you get there? Probably you could get there in 1.5 years or 2 years if you wanted to, and you were really pressing hard, and it was the only thing you were doing.
And let me just say one thing, guys. To be able to build a business from home that sells $1 million a month in 2 years is pretty bizarre. Like,
that's crazy. 12 million a year, right?
Right. But I just had to like voice that because I think that like this internet world that we live in wants people to think that that's normal.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Fucking normal.
Yeah, I've never seen any businesses get built like that.
Right. Like there's not we live in this making money online space, and everyone likes to pretend like there's a secret corner with some super $1 million business.
Yeah,
like,
it's hidden.
Right. And this is just one other of these this is the fact that it is possible in itself is amazing. But anyway,
it's crazy. It's not likely. Let's preface it like that. It's not likely. Almost nobody will get there.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Let's start like that. So
because you have to want to.
You have to want to. There's a lot of factors, right? So like the $1 million strategy, how to get there, right? So what are these people doing that other people are not? They're selling very fast moving products. So they're selling a few hundred orders a day. So they have to be equipped to deal with that.
A few hundred a day.
Okay. Yeah, a few hundred a day. So let's call it 300 to 700 orders a day.
Okay.
Let's call it that. I don't know. Let's just assume. But it's not 100 orders a day at a high ticket value, right? It's very fast moving products. It's typically lower margin products.
Mm-hmm.
And so their strategy is to literally just sell a shitload and sell it fast and move through it and churn and burn, right? So basically go as fast as you possibly can by selling these fast moving products. And with that in mind, their margins tend to be a little bit lower. Let's call it a lot lower than some of the other sellers.
So
right?
if you had to estimate a number, what
I don't have to estimate. I know where I sort of know where they're at. So front end profits, these guys who are going for like the $750 a month, the $1 million a month, right? Like they're going for gold. Their margins are typically between 4% and 6%. Bless you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so 4% and 6%. So what does that mean from like my camera out of focus? What does that mean from like a revenue and profit perspective? 4% on a million sold is $40K front end profit, high end $60K.
Okay.
Back end profit about 16,000 on that on a million. back end profit. When we talk about back end profit, we're talking about credit card cash back.
Right.
That's not including any affiliate links that you may be eligible for.
But only 16,000, you think?
Yeah. So what I did it on $1 million, right? We're doing 15% of that is Amazon's fee.
Right.
Just as an estimate, we're at $850, and then we said your estimated 5% of that would be $50K. So I took it down to $800K. 2% of that would be 16,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're hovering at like 56,000 to 66,000 on $1 million store, between 4 and 5% margin, something like that. If you manage to get 6% up front, then you're somewhere in the range of like 70K profit.
A month, okay.
A month, right? Now, what does that mean? And I don't really like how people talk about like, oh, but what's your margins in this game? What's your ROI, right? Like,
why? Why don't you like explain that?
Yeah.
No, why don't you like?
Great, and I'll explain to you why. When you talk about margins and ROI, it's typically on an asset or items that you're holding inventory on. Right. You're not holding any inventory. This is phantom. You already have the product sold before you buy it. If you make any money, then it's free money.
You know, you're the only person.
When I say free money, I mean you don't have to own
invest,
a product,
right?
Or you don't have to invest, right? You have to have credit, maybe even a lot of it. You have to work, meaning do the operational piece of the business. Whatever the software doesn't do automatically, you would have to do. You have to build a team, presumably.
Right.
It might be a 3-person team, might be a 10-person team, right? If you want to do those types of volumes, but it's free money in terms of you know that it's already sold. You know the money's coming to you. You might have to wait 2 weeks to get it,
right?
But you didn't take any risk on that product. The only risk you have is a suspension from Amazon, or something like that, where your money might get tied up for a period of time.
Right.
Apart from that, that's why I hate when dropshippers or any teams talk about ROI and margins. And ROI and margins only should be applicable to, I'm buying a building, my money's stuck there, and I'm getting this return on investment, right?
Or if you buy product in bulk.
FBA, product in bulk, sending it into FBA, my money's going to be sitting there. It's at risk. Right. Yeah. This is the risk I'm willing to take for the return on investment. This is the amount of ROI I'm getting. This is the amount of margins I'm getting. Okay, cool. Doesn't matter if it's margins or ROI. They kind of equate to this sort of the same thing, just at their own levels. It's just whatever you feel like tracking internally for your own business, whatever makes you feel more comfortable, makes you sleep at night.
Right.
But as it pertains to this business, the only reason you should really care about ROI or margins is because you have a limited supply of money or credit.
Right. Okay.
Right. And so these sellers don't have a limit to the amount of credit that they could spend. So why do they care, just turning through these credit cards and this money, making the profit on the credit cards, cash back, and just selling as much as they possibly can? They don't care that their margins are 4 to 6% plus the 2% cash back. They're pulling down like $60,000 to $75,000 a month, which in like any world, that's like an obscene amount of money.
Right.
For you to make in your underwear somewhere.
And like when I see in these groups, right? You are one of the few people, or you might be the first person that I've heard explain it like that. Because I sit in these groups all the time, and I see people talking about, but that's only 10%, or that's first of all only 10%. Okay, but let's say
monthly, right? Or
exactly,
or instantly per item, right?
Yeah,
most people talk about returns on investment and stuff like that in terms of like 10% per year. If you're doing real estate deals, like you'll be happy to do 8% in a year.
Right. No, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because what I've noticed is because the barrier to entry in this business model, you don't have to invest a lot. People complain about, first of all, the cost of software, the cost of trading. Okay, I get it, right? You're not sure if it works.
Yeah.
But like, guys, there's no, the idea of complaining about even 5-6% margins, right? When you're not investing into an asset, anything. Again, I personally don't like to run an account making 4, 5, 6%, and we could get into that after this conversation.
Oh,
like,
we will. I wouldn't enjoy it either. I prefer something different also.
Right. But you newbies who are getting into this game, there are different ways to play the game, but 6% profit on nothing, right? On air, on like clicking buttons on a computer. It's amazing. There are not that many business models that exist in the history of Earth where you can make 6% on $1 million a month and not buy anything before you sell it.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're not even paying for marketing. You're not even running ads most of the time.
Right. So like some people do, some people don't. I don't think it's necessary to do. Tried that at one point. I don't think it changed much.
I did it last year. Last year for Christmas, we did some, we private label drop shipped some turkey fryers, and then they paid ads to that and sold a ton on a good margin. But
okay, interesting. Yeah. So I mean, like with that strategy, there are some, there's some downsides, right? Like you said, you don't personally like to run a store like that. I know most people don't run stores like that. They'd rather run multiple stores if they can, and just to like mitigate risk, and or not have that much credit outstanding at any point in time, right? Just in case of a mishap, right? Some people are not scared of that and are just going for gold, and that's part of their strategy, right? And they'll let it go as long as they can for as much as they can, and just like crush it, right? And like that's a strategy too. And I'm not saying that's a short-term strategy. That could be a very good long-term strategy. It all does come down to how much credit you have, right? Because in order to do that type of volume, you really have to have like, 450K of credit just sitting around. You get paid from Amazon twice. You pay down your credit cards and all the rest. But that's still like a large bit of credit. Mark and I just got introduced to a company that can help if you don't have the credit there. I'm not going to name it on this. I'm not going to name the name of the company on this call because I'm not sure everything's been solidified yet from Mark's end.
Right. Okay.
Okay, but we'll send out an email both from Mark and myself after the webinar at some point or another, and you guys can leverage it. Basically, it's like an alternative way to get access to your capital. They'll lay out like up to 70% of your daily anticipated payouts, what you're eligible to receive each day based on which confirmed shipments they've made, and they take 1.77% daily of the 70% that they lay out to you. After Amazon's fees and all the rest. So it's like quite a bit better than some of the other competitors on the market. We liked the team that's working with it. So, that really helps, right? Because then
that's actually, let me just say one thing about that. After our live, I have a call with a company to record a video for the YouTube channel.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Look, I'm still not going to name it because we still have stuff to talk about on the call. But look out for that, guys, because I'm excited. I'm very, very excited about it.
Cool. Yeah, I think you might already have somebody who started using it. They're pretty
one person already got approved and got paid out within like 48 hours.
Yeah.
And I think I've had 2 people since then that got approved, but they have not paid out yet. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I mean, along with that strategy, you have to have access to the credit. Depends on how. It's 2% of your payouts. That doesn't come straight off your 4 to 6% margins that we were talking about. Not payability.
Yeah, and it's not payability, Flip. I will actually make, okay, so I will actually make some follow-up videos about payability and about why I want to work with this company, so, and do some math and show you guys. And okay, payability is helpful if you could find the margin, but anyway, I don't want to get into that too much, but it's not payability.
There's a lot of hidden stuff with payability. You just need to be a little bit careful with. This one's a lot more vetted. You know, I've spoken to people at both companies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, just the credit thing could be a factor. You know, and yeah, I mean, like, I think like that's basically the goal for them, is to get us, you know, get a small piece of the margins on the front end. They're doing a lot of the add-on items at these different retailers, like to get to shipping threshold minimums. So like they'll add on, you know, just to make like on a 20, you know, on like a $32 item, to get to the $35 threshold, they'll add a $3 item.
Right.
And make an extra $2 plus the $2 or $3 they were already making. You know, it adds up over time, over a few hundred orders a day, right? And so that's really like the gist.
Okay. I see the price point you're talking about, like right there.
Yeah, so that's
because
part
at
of the
scale.
strategy.
Yeah, at scale.
Yeah.
Oh,
right, I mean,
okay.
you're doing 500 orders a day, and at $3 more profit. You know, just do the math, $1,500, right? So plus your margins, your already anticipated margins and stuff like that. So that's part of this strategy, of the go big strategy as well.
But okay, but talk about why wouldn't you do that? Why don't you like?
I spoke of a few of the reasons why you might not want to do that. Mm-hmm. If you're using retailers outside of, like, let's say Walmart, for example, that we have auto ordering for, 500 orders a day might be a lot for a team of VAs to do without errors.
Right.
So that's something
most definitely is a lot to do without errors.
Yeah, so that's something you want to take into consideration. If you have errors, you have losses, of course, and anyway, just to place 500 orders with a virtual team, they don't take a minute in order. They take 5 to sometimes 10 minutes in order. So you just do the math, and you need to have many people on staff in order to accommodate for that. So I always like to source from multiple different retailers. Again, split the risk on like one retailer getting bogged down in like their shipping process and all the rest, and all of my orders being late, or all of my orders being canceled. You know, if you have like a bunch of different retailers in the mix, then like even if one retailer cancels all your orders for a day, you still have orders from other places, and they mix in, and you could figure it out to stay below your thresholds. That's just mitigating risk. I don't like to have that much debt outstanding at any given time.
Right.
I want to have the cash to cover it in case I have a 90-day hold with Amazon, for an example. So like, because your credit cards are not going to be as forgiving as you know, as your margins, and so like they're looking for like 25% or something like that.
Right, exactly.
So just, you know, I never like to have more credit like too much more credit outstanding that I could cover in cash at a given time. Mm-hmm. You know, or pay off at least some of it or most of it. I like to run a tight ship, and make sure I know everything that's flying, like the customer service that comes along with that many orders. If you plan to do it, instead of just like refunding anybody who reaches out to you for anything,
right?
You know, is something that you have to factor in there too. They may just take losses just to make happy customers and take 5,000 losses over the course of the month. Just refund to anybody that reaches out to them, and then try to recover whatever they can from Walmart. They're pretty forgiving as well.
Yeah.
I think that's like
one person, Top Tech, said, "What do they do with the extra $2 item? They send it to the same person."
Yeah, exactly. So like the person might just get like an extra item. Yeah, like no big deal. Like they're just like, oh, I got this for free. Okay.
I've been in this so long that I forgot that is a thing that could be talked about. Like I've seen that on eBay a lot. Like that price point where it's right under the free shipping. You
anything
sell a
below
lot of
$5.99, anything below $5.99. So like 35 minus the $6. So like you're at 29. $28.99, and between that and the 35 threshold, anything that can bring you there, right? Like you can make 50 cents more if you were closer to the $29 mark.
Like even when we have these conversations, it gives me ideas for like I could do a week of product research in that price range.
Yeah, those tend to be fast selling products as well, right? Yeah. The lower price point items tend to be the faster moving products as well.
So guys, those of you who weren't on the call earlier, because there are a couple more people, first of all, smash the like button because there are more people watching than likes. And Jordan agreed to give away 2 things for anyone that shares the video. Well, we're going to choose a winner, right? So in order to win what we're going to give you, you need to take the link of this video, share it on one of your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and then send an email to me, to mark@dsgd.com. And whoever wins would get 2 months worth of OA Genius, as well as an OA Genius. Is it a hoodie, a jacket?
Yeah, it's a hoodie.
Okay, OA Genius hoodie.
Exclusive. Still trying to figure out the tiers at which we give those away.
Okay. Okay. So what I will tell you kind of what I like my strategy to be, but what is yours? If you had to run a store, someone who's seen different strategies, what people do, what would you choose to do if you had to start a store today? What type of margin?
Starting a store, you're going to be looking for lower margins. Lower margins to build the volume.
Right.
The key to running a successful store is having the volume. You need to do 80 to 150 orders a day, to run a good store, because you need to be able to account for the ridiculous metrics that Amazon makes you keep up with.
Yep.
And so 2%, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, 2% cancellation rate.
2.5%.
2.5%. 2.5% cancellation, 1% ODR, and 4% late shipments. That doesn't leave a lot of room for you if you have less than that many orders, because on 100 orders, you can only cancel 2.5 orders per day. Right. So it leaves you with very little sort of room to play. So just to start, you need your volume up, right? Volume up plus margins up is your 8 months to 2-year strategy. Right. Your first 3 months is volume. Good customer service metrics. Every client gets taken care of in a timely fashion and really, really well. And maybe you're willing to take some losses. Maybe you're selling products for pennies or break even or a loss, just to get the volume up.
Right.
Get some reviews in place, get your buy box positioning and all the rest. And that's really what the first 3 months are about. Mm-hmm. Building up your account, building up your brand, and within the Amazon ecosphere, learning what the metrics mean and how they pertain to you, and what sort of leeway you have, figuring out how to not have late shipments, what your handling days should be set to, to have a bit of a buffer.
What do you know? I set my handling days at 5 days most of the time.
Yeah, that's a lot. Depends on which source.
No, but even with Walmart a lot, I set it at 5 days. When I see,
that's high.
If I'm running an account pretty well, and you get the sales, right? Or if sales are slow, I'll put down the handling time to 4 days and 3 days.
If you drop it to 4, you'll get 15% lift. You drop it to 3, you get another 15% lift. Yep. Handling days are one of the biggest factors in differentiation between selling more and selling less. It's basically handling days and
1 second. I'm live on YouTube. My office manager is Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just like, yeah, the two main factors I'd say are price and handling time, um, and then your feedback ratings and all the rest,
Right.
that come into consideration when Amazon's putting you in the buy box, or making you eligible for the purchase. So yeah, I mean, I'd say 5 days is pretty high.
It is high. So
Yeah,
the reason why let
it's
me kind of
good. I mean, it's safe. It's very safe. Like, it's
right,
very safe.
but this is what I'm saying. Okay, remember, my business is running multiple Amazon accounts, right?
Mhm.
So my business is getting someone pays us to take the Amazon account. I have to have a trained person to run the account. The account needs to be safe. The employee needs to be safe and paid. The
Mhm.
customer needs to make money, right?
Sure.
So our first month is 5 days,
Oh yeah, for sure.
right?
In the
A
beginning,
hundred
for
percent,
sure, for
like
sure.
a
In the
hundred
beginning, for
percent.
sure. You don't even
As
mess with that.
as we start to get sales, as I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, I don't have to fire this person next month.
Mhm.
You drop it onto 4. The employee will start to get. He said, "Why do I play it here?" Okay, I'll say something about that in a second. Um, the employees will get accustomed to that type of thing,
As
right?
he plays with his hair, he gets more buy boxes, and then he makes more money. So it works out for everybody.
Listen, this. Let me tell you something about my hair, right? I, as far as I can remember, I had dreads in college, but since college, when I cut it, I just have a habit of playing with my hair way too much, right? To the point where I have not cut the top of my hair in maybe 5 years. I've just twisted it out and kept it to this level. I just cut the sides. Honestly, I go to the barber and I just cut the sides of my hair and I just twist the rest of it. But yeah, if you watch any of my videos long term, I twist my hair in pretty much most of my videos. But yeah,
We should do a video where you try not to touch your hair for the entire
oh
time,
god,
and then take bets on that.
that stresses me out just thinking about it. This person said, I'm dropshipping on eBay and I've been holding off on Amazon. Have one private label brand and I'm afraid of getting shut down by dropshipping. Do I need to worry about that? What do you say? I will say my opinion, but what would you say about that?
I mean, do you need to worry about that? You need to worry about it. So you need to worry about it the same way as you need to worry about getting shut down for any business model on Amazon. I mean, Amazon's a big behemoth company. Bezos has no clue what's going on at these levels. Like they'll shut you down for pretty much anything. I think a lot of Amazon sellers kind of live in fear a little bit to some degree. With that fear comes a lot of revenue and a lot of profit and a lot of success, and a lot of happy and fun days. So if you're willing to take the journey, I mean, every business has its risks. The fact that drop shipping, or rather online arbitrage drop shipping is against TOS to some degree. That's a risk that you got to be willing to take. There's a lot of sellers that are doing it. Tens of thousands. And there's a reason why they're doing it, and it's because it's a very profitable sort of business model, and it's low risk from an inventory perspective, and the opportunities are just endless. There's like hundreds of millions of products to choose from, where an arbitrage exists. And so I think people just factor in the barrier to entry, along with the upside potential and the risks at hand. And as long as you arm yourself with like some legal teams that can help you out, or any of the rest, I know people who have had 2 or 3 drop shipping suspensions on Amazon and are still selling on Amazon,
Right. Yeah.
doing a drop shipping policy, doing drop shipping as their business model.
So,
So I don't think it's ever like like a game over type of thing.
right.
At least not yet. And so that's, that should like rest some of your concerns. The juice is worth the squeeze, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
But okay, so Andrea, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your private label brand is. But I would challenge you to look at like this, right? most people who are building a private label brand, most people, I don't know if this is you, Andrea, might be trying to make or are making a couple $100, a couple $1,000 a month. Most people, right? There are other people who are building $1 million brands and are ready to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in inventory, in running ads, and they have a long-term plan of selling this brand or selling this to someone else for a couple $1 million, right? If you are not one of those few people that are planning, because I personally know someone that sells a water bottle that squeezes fruits or whatever. I don't buy that shit, so I couldn't tell you what it means, but with the actual name. But they do $150,000 a month in sales from their own private label FBA brand. They spend, when they started, they used to spend $20,000 a month in ads to get the feedback and rank. So they had a game plan. They saw a space in the market. They invested the money with a plan.
A lot of money.
A lot of money with a plan of making millions of dollars. I think what most of you humans looking at this should understand is that is 1 in a million fucking people. And I was trying not to curse in this video, but I had no choice.
What happens then? You don't get to do the
They
ads?
monetize it less. You get like limited ads, but whatever, right?
Gotcha.
But this is more important. And the reason why I say that, and the reason why this type of shit gets me angry, is because a lot of people giving advice don't take into consideration, one, the position of the person they're giving advice to, and everyone just watches YouTube and tries to take a specific answer to a question, and most of the fucking people who are telling you be afraid that your account is being shut down is selling you a private label course. Right?
Yeah, and private label is it's always been very super appealing to me. Like specifically like Greg Mercer, Jungle Scout, and Helium 10, and all the rest. And like the business model, I think makes sense, and I think it's like. I think it's a real business, and I think it could happen, but for sure, I've never actually taken the plunge into like actually doing it, because I just look at the whole idea and I'm like, wow, a lot of work.
Right.
And maybe at the end of all that work, I end up spending 50 grand, 75 grand and nothing. Like I'm just testing. The same thing with the Shopify, Shopify, Facebook ads, revenue business model, dropship revenue business model. I'm not scared to invest. I just haven't seen so many people be successful with it. And I think, and I have to assume that the people that are most successful with it have spent a shitload to figure out how to be successful with it. And I just haven't met any of those people.
I know one.
You do? Okay, yeah, so
one.
that could like guide me in the right direction. That didn't want to charge me $10,000, $15,000 a month to teach me. So like I've met people, they're willing to teach me, but they're not showing me the back end of their own stores. Right. They also want 10 to 15 grand on top of whatever I would spend in Facebook or Amazon ads and stuff like that. And still, like I never really knew what the upside potential is. It's clear as day to me. There are many private label brands on Amazon. And don't even call it private label. It's their own brand, right? They created their own brand. Maybe they even manufactured their own product with some modifications, create a new mold, etc. That's a complete business in itself that do very, very well. Like something that people don't care about the brand on. It's a whole business, and the barrier to entry is very high. And it's very it's just a little bit scary. Whereas like, investing a little bit in software, throwing up like a bunch of 1,000 products costs me very little. And then if I sell for profit, I'm like, okay, cool. I made $5 today. Can I make 10 tomorrow? I made $10 today. Can I make 50 like next week a day?
No, but let me say one other thing another reason why this pisses me off, and this is specific to people like you Andrea, right? In the accounts that we manage, we've had accounts that had like an FBA product in there as well as drop shipping, right? And we've seen maybe double the percentage of buy box percentage that Amazon is willing to give you compared to if you're doing 100% drop shipping. So I don't know if it's in the algorithm. They're just like, okay, this person is actually risking something. We have control of a product. They trust the account more, right? And why I'm saying that is because someone like Andrea, in my opinion, if you are someone that's making a lot of money or has a long-term goal for your product, fine. But if you take that same account with the physical products in FBA and run a proper drop shipping business properly in that account, you will actually make more money than the other straight drop shippers for the number of listings that you have because of the higher percentage of buy box that Amazon is willing to give you. And I've seen this from like actual running multiple accounts, right?
Yeah,
and
I like that strategy.
Right, because you end up being safer, and someone like, again, not necessarily you, Andrea, but someone who might have like invested $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, maybe $10,000 in a product, whether it's private label or regular FBA, and not take the time to drop ship, and might be able to make $50,000 over a 6-month period on the drop shipping business and still keep their FBA business out of fear, is annoying to see and annoying to know that like a small change could change. Because I've seen so many people, dude, so many of the accounts we have managing are from people who tried FBA or tried private label, sold 10, 20 grand and failed.
Yeah.
Like tons of them.
Very difficult, the FBA game, holding inventory, tracking your inventory around.
So I really challenge people to do both. We have videos. I have videos on my channel with a specific kid that did both.
Yeah.
And made like $8,000 his first month drop shipping. And he was like, Mark, I was like, dude, if you're willing to put in the investment, the time to do the research, to find a product, to change the brand and send it to Amazon, when you look at the drop shipping model and you see the financial advantage or the cash flow that you can generate from drop shipping, you lose it. Like I could personally say, unless you have that long-term plan, you're completely losing out on tens of thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah, there. I'll give like a quick little tidbit of how like you can use dropshipping to get into your into the FBA game a little bit as well. And it's like it's not rocket science. It's just, you know, I've seen people do this before. So you start the dropshipping and you see what's selling well. At the end of like a few months, you just run a report out of OAG, see which SKUs are turning the biggest profit margins. You know, because, you know, if you have the margins, then you basically are, you know, you might be eligible to cover the FBA fees plus the referral fee, the 15% plus the FBA fee. So start with the ones that have bigger margins, and then, you know, narrow it down from there and then go back and look to see if you can purchase like above the free shipping threshold. You get the products in for free, label them up, send them into FBA. And now you're doing both. It's not going to be every product. Of course, like the drop shipping model supports like heavy, big boxes that that you're leveraging, like these big box retailers, superior shipping rates that you would never have access to as a normal sort of person or even as a normal FBM seller. So those wouldn't be good for FBA, but you'll probably stumble across many items just in your own inventory that you're selling that you might want to sell both merchant fulfilled and FBA.
Right. So she said really helpful. So guys, if you guys have any specific questions, we've been going for almost an hour already, but if you have any, which it doesn't feel like that, right? But if you have any specific questions, you guys can ask. But
2,000 on fire in Shopify sounds low. But I'm sorry that happened to you. But that's a good, you know, that's like an easy learning experience.
No, but when I see those things, right? Those type of this is my part of my pet peeve with this space that we're in, right? You have people promoting get into entrepreneurship. Forget all this, whatever they call it, right? Get into entrepreneurship. You don't have to risk much. For people who cannot risk or who would not want to risk $2,000. Because a lot of time, this person going down that road of losing $2,000, if they lost $20,000, they might have found the answer to a profitable product. but they may not have fucking $20,000 to lose.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Most people don't, right? Even if you do, I don't like to lose 2,000, 20,000, let alone 2,000. I don't like to lose any money ever. I'm all about never losing a dollar, right? Like even every dollar that we spend on ads, I want to, you could ask my team, I want to know what that's converted for us and why, and if it hasn't converted, why, right? So, I'm all about seeing the return on your investment and doing, and doing the rest. So like, I don't, but with all that in mind, I think there's a lot of hesitation in like investing at all in the business, like, and sometimes you need to put some money in. Like, just to start a business. Like think about it, like anybody who starts a business, and like I don't know, there's definitely some sort of like sayings and stuff like that like a majority of businesses that ever start fail. Right. That's first of all. But second of all, like definitely you've never heard of businesses that start without any money, right? So like you should try to figure out how to like have, I don't know, maybe like $5,000 or something like that, just to start the business so that you can get through your first few months. If you needed to invest in the right things, like to get your infrastructure set up in the softwares, in the team, and the product sourcing. There's a lot of stuff that you can do on your own, but you're going to want to, invest in the team like early, just so that you're set up for the success and the hyper growth when it comes, and also just some softwares to help you along the way, and which could mitigate some of the hiring that you need to do.
Right.
So there's a little bit of that. So I wouldn't say you need no money, but you don't need a lot of money. You just more need credit.
Right.
And hard work ethic. And then, Andrea, again, back to you. You're saying eBay's been great for you. You're looking at Amazon. I've seen both. And I've seen what's possible in both. And there's really no comparison between the eBay dropshipping and Amazon dropshipping. I think
absolutely not.
Maybe like a tenth. I would say like 1 to 10, which is like 10%. 10% of whatever you're able to do. If you're doing 1,000 in profit on eBay, expect 10,000 in profit on Amazon.
With the same amount of work, and listings and
actually, I think the buyers on eBay are even more annoying than they are on Amazon somehow.
No,
if that's possible.
So listen, the customer service on eBay is horrible compared to Amazon. The type of buy on eBay.
Yeah.
I could tell I've spent 5 years on eBay and then a year doing both eBay and Amazon, and then I'm like, fuck eBay. Right?
Yeah.
The type of buy on eBay is the worst, first of all. I have personally worked in an account and tried to squeeze every cent out of an eBay account, and the highest I've gotten to is $340,000 at like close to 50% margin, which is a lot. But this is like 1.5. But this is squeezing every piece of sale I could get out of this account. And we still had, I want to say like $24,000 of returns of a fucking table tennis board that was defective from Academy Sports, right? Being on Amazon, the only restriction is controlling the cash flow and being able to respond as fast. I've seen an $80,000 day on Amazon, and that is scary. That's not fun. I sent out an email about a month ago with the screenshot. Like we had an account that we managed at $80,000 a day, and I could have danced all this stuff online and say like whatever, but like I was messaging the client like, dude, you sure you have this credit? Like, let me know if we should put sorry, because it just the first day was like 20 grand, and we're like, wow, we're doing good, and then we had like 60 or something, and I called up and was like, dude, like, I
You
don't
good?
know. Yeah, like you wanna, and then it hit 80. I was like, oh, okay.
Those are very big numbers, even for like a Prime Day, Black Friday, or Cyber Monday.
No,
Those are
but we
big
also
numbers.
left. So after those 3 days, the account was on vacation mode for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, okay, we've made our money, we've tied up a ton of credit. Let's make sure everything is delivered. Like it's a weird. So that's to come back to this girl saying like Andrea's want to move from eBay. Like it's in my opinion, it's 10 times. But I have kind of pushed eBay to my limit, and I'm afraid of the sales limit on Amazon. Like that's kind of how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like there's just traffic. There's a lot. Anyway, we add an hour. And I have a call with that company that we talked about, the financing company, right?
What time?
In 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay, I could do another 10 minutes or so of questions, and
All
then
right, perfect. So let's do.
and then we could cut it off if anybody had any.
I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna run in and get my charger real quick. So like, if you guys have any questions for Jordan, go ahead. I'll be right back.
Cool. If nobody has questions, then I have to figure out what to talk about, I guess. Does anybody have any questions about OA Genius software, what we're able to do, what we're not able to do, who we support? Happy to talk on that front. Really just anything that's on your mind, any questions, don't be shy. Beginner, intermediate, or expert. Andrea, I'll let Mark talk about that when he gets back. I'm not involved in that. Would the done for you be on a new account or an existing one? Again, I'm going to have to defer to Mark on that one. I think you could probably do both. It depends on what you're looking for. Barbie doll eBay is just the worst. I can't agree more. It's horrendous. Like it's a horrendous platform. I think I've had buyers message me before, basically like pre-sale, even being like, "You're a thief. I could buy this for cheaper somewhere else. How dare you?" I'm like, I haven't even sold anything to you. And like, it's your prerogative to buy it or not, or whatever. I don't know. Don't buy from me, I guess. Harbor Freight as a supplier, thoughts? What are the top suppliers people can use? Top tech. Harbor Freight is, as far as I know, is not a supplier. They're a, sorry, my camera's out of focus. They're a freight service. I don't know if they actually have products of their own. If they do, then I know nothing about it. Sorry about that. Best retailers, Vitacost, apart from Walmart, Home Depot, Vitacost, Zorro, Bed Bath's okay. Hardware and tools, some of the more obscure ones, Mills, Fleet Farm, Blaine's. They don't ship to California anymore, those two, but they're good in most cases as long as you have a backup source for the products. I would say you should go ahead and list those. Have you had people switching over from other softwares? Yeah, I'm in tons every day. Most of them are coming from Ecom Solutions. Those are the old school guys, and WSA, Web Scraper app. Transition super seamless. You'll be teamed up with a integration lead over here. We're happy and ready to get on a demo with you, but like super simple upload template, and you're good and ready to go. Auto ordering takes another 5 minutes to learn. You couldn't learn the entire software in under 30 minutes and be up and live and over from your competitor probably in 45 minutes or so.
Oscar said, I arrived late, a little late, so this is more like an automation service. No, it's not.
No, yeah.
And I want to say something about that. I've been running an automation business for 3 years. So if I don't think we have space for any managers now. We just have some new trainees. But if you guys want to apply, there's a link in the description. But Before I started to use OA Genius, we used SKU Grid, Jungle Scout for product research, and a ton of Excel spreadsheets, right? We had someone web scraper app, and in the beginning, we had Ecom Solutions because I know, I've had Jason on the channel, like I know Jason, right? And I could see why someone will compare OA Genius to our automation service, only because I've seen the time that it saves my guys. It's night and day. Like when we do product research just using Jungle Scout, my best guys would take all day to find 15 items. And I've done it because I know, because you're not doing, with you guys, you start on the source and you save a lot of time, right? And then processing orders all the time as well. With the auto order, it's impossible to compare a human to the software. So it's not an automation service, but it takes, as someone running an automation business, this piece of software saves maybe, I would say 60% of the time that I look at, like, that my guys used to take without OA Genius using SKU Grid. And I'm talking about experience. This is not an ad. This is like, I'm looking at the results that my guys could get using OA Genius. I'm looking at brand new accounts and the type of listings and all that stuff, the time it takes to list. And I think, Jordan, the only thing that we talked about is like our main supplier for beginner accounts is not under OA Genius.
Yep.
But it's from someone, I have nothing, like I didn't build the software. I don't work for OA Genius. I've used pretty much all the software in the market. There is a free trial in the description that I get an affiliate commission from, but I could say that like it is the best software I've used so far. And if you guys are getting into Amazon dropshipping, it may not be the cheapest software out there, but the time saving, you cannot compare it, right? And you're dealing with Amazon where your room for error is very small. But yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's right. It isn't the cheapest software on the market. It's actually comparable to anything else on the market. It just does a lot more. But we tried to price the software, whereas like you said, you would save about 60% of like running it without it, right? Mm-hmm. So like, you know, in terms of dollars and like virtual assistants that you would need. So like, even if you could cut down like 2 virtual assistants instead of having to hire 2 extra virtual assistants, you're now more organized. There's more automation and all the rest. And you cut that down, that's $400 a month. So like 175 or 375 is still a savings. And then, all the organization on top, right?
Well, the day-to-day running is about 60%.
Yeah.
The organization is like 90%. Because when we used to do, you will see when I move some of the big accounts into OAGs, right? The reports that we run for these accounts that go through Excel and we download in the sales, and it's the room for it's humans. You can make a lot of mistakes. The time that it takes, we take someone to look over the reports twice. Mm-hmm. So it's and I spend labor cost, right? Like I'm paying my employees, so I see it ridiculously. But
so like actual profitability within the software after the fees, all the automation around placing orders. Even if we don't place orders for that particular supplier that you're using, we do everything post order. So like all the tracking automation, all the just like all the user management and product automation. So like there's a lot of automation, but it's not fully automated, meaning like you still need to run your own account, or you need to pay a manager to run your account. Probably that manager will also be using OA Genius as their tool of choice. I saw a couple of questions around auto ordering for other suppliers. By demand, I guess. A lot of you guys probably won't know this or like feel this, but it is very difficult for us to keep the auto ordering running, even just for Walmart. First of all, we process a ton of orders, like really a lot, and you'll see we're sending out like a recap email in the next few weeks, which will basically like show you how many orders and what the sales volume looks like for our clients and stuff like that. So like what we've been able to achieve together. But we do like a few hundred.
Where is that email? Where would that email?
All clients will get it to their inbox. So just be like a recap of like what the quarter looked like, because we just closed out the quarter.
Can I share that email on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, sure.
So just the auto ordering is very difficult to upkeep. Walmart keeps changing things and try to make it difficult for us to do. So there's a lot of maintenance that you guys might not be privy to. We just have like developers pushing code to that extension all the time. And if you keep track of like the version numbers, like we get a new version in there like probably once every couple days, just to like sidestep them and circumvent them. We will add more sources by demand. If you guys had a different source that you guys were doing a lot of volume on, please request it, send it through to the support. But again, like a lot goes into it, and so we're only supporting Walmart for now because that's where a majority of our clients are sourcing from and selling from.
And what is, could you? I mean, I know you don't do auto ordering for anything else, but is there any way to figure out like a close second, or is it not even close? Is there any other supply?
Close second in terms of like volume and orders? Yeah, it's Home Depot.
But is it close?
No, it's not. It's like about, let's call it like 20%.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is an opportunity, not a downfall. Like Home Depot Home Depot's an amazing source. Does OEGenius do repricing, or do you need a separate software like Informed, Repricer Express, Be Cool, Seller Snap, or any other? You will need a repricer on top of us for now.
Okay.
And if you refer to the beginning of this video, then you'll know why.
Yeah. I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah. So, but there's we're coming close to the end of that, so so we'll be good. So is a software like Zik Analytics, a lister, repricer, tracker for eBay, all in one, but for Amazon. We have a Zik Analytics alternative. Will actually be starting to be more similar to Zik Analytics. I know at Zik Analytics, they initiate most of their searches on like an individual store on eBay to like basically snipe them and do like reverse searches to find where the product is from, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So we're adding that functionality in.
Really?
So that's coming down the pipe.
Okay, so let me just say one thing about that, right? DSGenie was the first. I was the one who coined this sniping thing in eBay dropshipping like years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And when we made DSGenie, I still have the software. When we made Zik Analytics wasn't even around when we made DSGenie.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and we used to snipe eBay stores using individual eBay APIs. So if you get an API from your specific store, we're not scraping. We're just using that API to pull the data from the second store, and that stayed under eBay's radar forever, because you just use like 5,000 pulls a day and blah blah.
Not a lot.
And we started DSGenie like we started 2012 or something, like a while ago. Before you even needed price tracking on eBay, because before you could just refund the money if the price went up and it wouldn't affect anything on your store. So you didn't need SKU grid or any one of those things, right? We made a sniper for Amazon, like, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. And since we made it, I tested it, it was fun, and I was like, I don't know if I want to market this. And then Amazon had changed the API, so it was harder to get access to data and a lot of stuff. And the whole building of software is a huge undertaking, right? So I've been waiting for this entire time for someone to make it could be a plugin, because I've been looking at it for so long, because even Jungle Scout, about 2 years ago, or even up to a year ago, could not pull the data from the product page of a store. Like if you go to a store and you go to
individual product page, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the products in that store. So if you look at a store's list of products,
Gotcha.
it wouldn't. Only about a year ago they started to do that.
Ah.
And I was like, when would someone? So I'm very happy that you actually said that you guys are going to go starting on that, because that is going to add a whole different. And I kind of saw you go like with the other piece of software you just launched, a free consumer one. I kind of saw like, okay.
So people can use that now. Yeah, the technology is there. It's actually a completely separate piece of technology. Like it works completely differently off of completely different databases and all the rest. Like they couldn't even be more different.
Right.
Like the
on
idea,
the software side of things.
Yeah, on the software side of things, like the idea stemmed from it, but like completely separate everything. But yes, and people can feel free to use Buy Low in the meantime, but it won't do like an entire an entire scan of.
You wouldn't do the whole store,
at once. But so we're looking for that with like an extract all. So just go through all the products the same way that you use it on like Walmart or something else. Just like see it there, right?
Because how? Like, just for you guys watching now, how we snipe a store, right? If you want to snipe a store on Amazon, on the Amazon store on the left you can see all the brands, right? So we can choose, we'll choose one brand and then go through item by item that way. That's how, I've trained my guys to snipe stores, right? So I'm excited. And after seeing you guys extract all for Walmart, and I'm excited to see what that look like. I don't know if I'm excited or afraid.
Yeah, I know. Listen, and again, we've had this conversation before. I think, just because it's selling well in one person's store doesn't mean it's going to sell well in your store.
Right.
But if it's a good product, it will sell.
Right, exactly.
And so with the price of monitoring a product like being so cheap, doesn't matter. Add it. Just to finish off Oscar's, it is a lister. It's not a repricer. It is a tracker. It is automated tracking updates, automated ordering for Walmart, user management, analytics, reporting. Order organization and order management tool for multi-user access and organization across the board for your entire Amazon dropshipping business.
Okay, sweet.
I think we could probably, we got to head out, I guess, right?
Yeah, but guys, if you're watching this, a couple things. There's a link in the description for OA Genius, the free trial. If you're watching this after, let us know in the comment section what other topics we could cover. Because I would like to have Jordan back once you have the time, Jordan.
See what the feedback is on this video first, and maybe nobody likes me.
Well, even this is the thing, right? Every time we speak, I get to learn a lot from you, right? Even in a perspective on certain things. So it helps be in my business. So even if I'm just being a selfish asshole, I would like to have you back so I can ask you some questions, right? But guys, if you want to win 2 months worth of OA Genius, if you want to win a OA Genius hoodie, share this video. You don't even have to be live. Even if you're watching this after, share this video on any social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Take a screenshot of where you shared it, and then send that to my email to mark@dsgenie.com.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy ask. Honestly, I think there was a lot of value in this video, and that's not me being tooting my own horn. I think just the conversation went really well. I think people learned certain things here, and there's a lot. It's an easy video to share. Right,
and feel free to smash the like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, subscribe and hit the bell notification. When I go live at 10 Eastern in the morning, I missed the last 2 days, some family issues, but when I go live at 10 Eastern in the morning, I'm using OA Genius as well and showing you guys how to find items to sell every day, actual items you can list on Amazon immediately. So you want to subscribe and hit the bell notification, and then in the description, check out OA Genius. The fact that you could use it for free and then come see my crazy ass in the morning and I'm using the software while you have it, and you could actually be doing product research while I'm live and ask me questions. And that could, even if it helps you with your product research in your own business, you can't do check the free trial out, guys. I would love to learn more about your done for you service. I'll reach out. So Andrea, you can reach out by email or reach out via the link in the description. I'll get back to you on that. All right, and hopefully I'll have Jordan back and we could go into this again. I really appreciate your time, Jordan. And
thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for joining, and look forward to speaking with everyone soon.
Okay, see you.
Bye. Thanks again, Mark.